Hi everyone, and welcome back to Rosemaling with Art of Lisa. I'm Lisa, or at least here are my hands. I hope you're all having a wonderful and blessed day today. I certainly am, and I'm so happy to be able to spend some time with you guys showing some of the stuff that I do. So today I'm doodling. I'm doodling with a liner brush, a broken liner brush. That's why it's got tape on it, but it's still in very good shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this liner brush and put it through my carbon black paint here. All right, I'm using JoSonja paints. Once again, this is what I'm using. And then I have my handy dandy medium that I've used, and I'll link a video for you for that. So I'm going to go ahead and load up my brush, and I'm really loading it from the tip all the way up to the middle portion of the brush here, and really adding the paint. And I'm just going to tip a little bit. Now I'm going to go to another page because you can see I was doodling here. So what do I mean by doodling? Well, in Rosemaling and a lot of other art forms, detail and line work is very important. So practicing with your brush is a really important thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just warm up with some straight lines here. I came in at quite the angle. So I reach out ahead of me, come in for a landing. I'm just going to tip the very tip of my brush there to take any extra paint off. But I'm going to reach out ahead of me, and I'm going to come down for a landing. And I'm going to push down on those bristles to make a thicker line. And then I'm going to slow down and just stop. Let the bristles catch up, and I'm going to lift straight up. So I'm just giving my brush a little bit of a warm up here. Reaching out ahead of me, coming in for a landing, and push straight down. Now, one of the biggest things that people do when they do line work is they rush. We get so nervous doing these lines that we get to the end and then we're like, woo! And then we pull out this feathered line here and we're like, ugh, we don't want to do that. So you really want to think about slowing down. Slow down, let your brush come down, press down on it, and just lift up and up. Now notice I am holding my brush about a third of the way up the handle. It's rolling between my thumb, my pointer finger, and my middle finger. And I am using my opposing arm to just brace myself and give myself some steadiness here. So let's do that again and just reach out and come down. And now I'm just going to take the pressure off and take back off again. Now I'm going to do a thin, thick, thin line, just giving myself some warming up here. Right? It's almost like that airplane is coming in for a landing, going down the runway and going, oops, wrong airport. Need to go one town over. Notice I keep pulling and reaching underneath me. Now, let's take that and just doodle a little bit more. So it's just fun to sit with this brush. I'll do some S curves here. Coming in for that landing, pushing down thick, and then taking the pressure off. And I'm just driving down a road here, giving some little S strokes. Pushing on those bristles and lifting back up again. Notice I'm coming to a slow stop here and lifting straight up. I want to let my brush catch up to me. I'm trying to give myself enough room to work here. All right, well, let's do some more of those. I'm going to push back down and lift back up again. And let's see if I can just do a circle with this. I'm just going to doodle a little bit. Dragging that brush right to an end. Whoops, see, it's only balanced right on the tip. And lift up again. So, as I said, in Rosemaling, line work, detailing, is super important to finishing off our pieces. Whoop, I don't like that. So, spending some time and practice with your line brush, your liner, whichever you like. I like a shorter liner. Some people like longer liners. And let's see, you can hear them in the background here. Like, here's a longer liner, right? Some people like to use these. All right, same idea. Coming in for a landing, a little thicker. But I still can get a nice thin line there, right? I can still roll that around. It's really dependent on you, what brush you like. the best thing I can say is go ahead and practice with a couple different brushes, right? When you take a class, try the brush that the teacher has, see what they like, and play around with that, right? But if you can sit and just doodle and learn how to control the brush, and it's almost like you're driving, right? You know how you turn your steering wheel and you just drag that, or just lightly do a little turn here and there, right? It's how the same idea with how you move the brush, right? We're just giving little turns. I'm just driving in a circle. And then notice I'm slowing down to let the brush catch up to me and lift up again, right? We might start with a circle. Go ahead and pull around. Oh, I lost a little bit of paint there. Now I am working on just regular copy paper. But one of the things I always suggest to do is if you're going to practice, and I have done this myself, is get yourself a sketchbook, right? I have a sketchbook here, oops, and you can see practice, 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 lots of practice, doodling, right? All sorts of stuff. That is the biggest thing I could say to do, is get yourself that and just play along with it. Maybe even date it so you know what you've been working on, right? That definitely needs more paint there. Well, see, it did drag out. I'm just going to come right back in the middle of it. Go ahead and pull that out. All right. Just remember, you know, and those who've been with me for a long time know, I say it's just paint. It's just paint. There's a lot of fun just practicing with it. We can even practice doing some teardrops. It's one of the only times I really put my hand down on the table, and I come in at about a 45-degree angle, and I push and slide my bristles one way, and push and slide my bristles another, and back out again. You know, let me know if you'd like me to do a teardrop video. I'd be happy to do that. Right now I'm just sitting and doodling. All right. Now, again, when we're working on an actual piece, then you have, you know, lines that you're going to follow. Hold on, I'm reaching for something to the side. You would think I would have it super handy, but, you know, for example, I have all the brush strokes down below, and then you do the detailing on top of it. But again, just have fun, play with the brush. This is about being comfortable with it, learning how to get some control. You see, now I'm right-handed, so I tend to move to the right. If you're left-handed, it will be the same idea. You might end up moving more towards the left. I like to say that Rosemaling is ambidextrous, so usually what you do in one direction, you have to do in the other. So it's one of those things you want to learn to do in both directions. All right, we're going to go ahead and push down and pull up. I like to pull those. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed just a little bit of Rosemaling doodling with Art of Lise. I hope you will have a wonderful and blessed day. And remember, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Thank you, everybody. It's just paint. And until next time, take care.